Special thanks to Patreon supporter Quake for making this tutorial possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Kyoto here bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare aircraft tutorial. And this tutorial will be going ahead and building the UH-72 Lakota. The Eurocopter, now Airbus helicopters, UH-72 Lakota is a twin-engine helicopter with a single four-bladed main rotor. The UH-72 is a militarized version of the Eurocopter EC-145, built by American Eurocopter, now Airbus Helicopters Incorporated, a division of the Airbus Group Incorporated. Initially marketed as the UH-145, the helicopter was selected as the winner of the United States Army's Light Utility Helicopter program on June 30th, 2006. In October 2006, American Eurocopter was awarded a production contract for 345 aircraft to replace the aging Bell UH-1H/V Iroquois and the Bell OH-58A/E Kiowa helicopters in the U.S. Army and Army National Guard fleets. The UH-72 performs logistics and support missions within the U.S. for homeland security, disaster response missions, and medical evacuations. So yeah, the UH-72 here is a pretty interesting little helicopter, a very light helicopter to say the very least. It's pretty small and pretty simplistic in design and really just fills that light role of a helicopter. As I mentioned, this is more designed for a homeland type of helicopter where it provides logistical support and disaster response. You don't really see this helicopter being sent into deployed locations, as the Black Hawk kind of fills that role a little bit more thoroughly, but this is kind of a nice light helicopter that's perfect for homeland use for very much so simpler missions that don't require the use of heavier helicopters. So overall, pretty cool build, and should be a fun addition if you're looking for a kind of nice simple medical helicopter. The version we have in front of us here is kind of designed to be the medical one, which seems to kind of be the typical designation this helicopter is used for. It does have the medical marker on the side with the white, and then it also has a lights, some optics and stuff like that in the front, as well as a basically a winch on the side of the helicopter as well for lowering down stretchers or other soldiers or whatever may be needed of it. But yeah, pretty cool helicopter, and again, should make an awesome addition to your worlds. Before we go and jump into it, I do want to go ahead and give us special links to a brand new Patreon supporter, Quake. If you're interested in supporting the channel more, you already do, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video description, where you can go and put a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so, earn a video request you're choosing. It really helps support the work I do on my channel. Is really, really appreciated, so definitely feel free to check that out. Again, link is down in the video description. With that though, let's dive in here and take a look at the UH-72 Lakota. So for this aircraft, we have both the in-flight landed version. This is a skid helicopter, so basically however you want to build it, it will basically sit on the ground or be up in the air. It really works either way. But what we have here is we have the kind of main body of the helicopter. It's again really small, kind of light helicopter. They have the cockpit up here, the side here where there's the doors, windows, and stuff like that on the side. We go up further here. We have the basically the intakes here for the engine, so pretty straightforward stuff there. And we come back here, believe these are the exhausts right here, and then we go back further. We have a tail, really interesting tail design here. It's kind of like a vertical stabilizer type tail, but you get your horizontal stabilizers, your tail here. Again, you have about 3 of those vertical stabilizers, and then you have your tail rotor kind of tucked in here. It's again a very interesting design, pretty unique for this helicopter. But overall, that's pretty much it for the helicopter. A really nice looking build, and again, we'll take a look at it from the up above here, so you can get a view of that as well. Again, nice helicopter, and will be a pretty cool light helicopter if you're looking for one, something like that. Anyways, though, without further ado, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer, layer number 1. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our first layer here, we'll be going ahead and beginning with layer number 1. Now, if you're completely new to my aircraft tutorials, the way I like to start these tutorials, I like to do half on camera, half off. What this means is we're building the entire center line of the helicopter, and then the right side, and it'll be up to you guys in between layers to copy the right side over to the left side. It's pretty straightforward, and once we kind of get for the first few layers, it'll make a little bit more sense as to what we're doing. But again, it's really nothing too complex, and should be pretty straightforward to do. But with that, let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing we're going to do is you need to decide here if you want to land or in flight. Now layer 1 here is going to sit on the ground level if you want it landed. If you are having this in flight, this is going to be the lowest level of the helicopter. So just keep that in mind as we kind of go through this. Again, you can go ahead and have this on the ground level with layer 1, or you can have this as the bottom of your helicopter in the sky. Either one, that's where this is going to sit. With that out of the way though, let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to place down a black shulker box. That's going to be upside down. We're going to place down an item frame coming off that with a black bed in the item frame, and then a dark oak wood sign on the side there if you're on Java. Now the dark oak wood sign will only be able to be placed if you are on Java. So if you're not on Java, then I would just place on the item frame and the black bed and disregard that sign. With that out of the way though, we're going to go ahead and then skip a space back. We're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor. Then we're going to place down skip back 3 spaces, and then we're going to place down another dark oak wood trapdoor. And that's going to form our center line there. We're going to go ahead and build up the sides here, a dark oak wood trapdoor, going off those ones like that down the middle. And then we're going to place down a polished blackstone top slab, and then a half slab of polished blackstone. Same thing will be done over here for that row 3 there. We're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood trapdoor here. And then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 going forward. So in between these dark oak wood slabs. And then a dark oak wood trapdoor here. And then a polished blackstone upside down stair like so. And that right there is going to basically make what we have here for layer 1. Again, taking a look at it from above here, this we should have the top-down view with this layer complete. And with that, we'll pretty much be working on, moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 2. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we're going ahead and moving into layer number 2. For layer 2 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go ahead and begin with placing down an anvil on top of this black shulker box. So just like this. And we then want to place down a dark oak wood fence post coming off the anvil like that going forward. If you're on Java, we're going to go ahead and place down a piston. That's going to be upside down like so. If you're not on Java, instead of the piston, I would place down a dark oak wood upside down stair, which you would have facing that direction like so. After that though, we're going to go ahead and then place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 green terracotta blocks back, and then a dark oak wood top slab here on the very end. That's going to do our center line there, and we're going to go and work our way out to the sides. Coming off this fence post, we're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor, then a dark oak wood top slab, and then we're going to place down a piston here like we did before. Again, if you do not have the ability to place down pistons, or if you're not on Java, I should say, then we'll be going ahead and just placing down a dark oak wood stair there instead. After this, though, we're going to take our green terracotta. We're going to place down 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks back, and then a dark oak wood top slab. After that is all done there, we're going to go ahead and grab a zombie head. We're going to place it on the side of the piston. And then grab our green stained glass panes. We're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green stained glass panes along the side there, like so. And after we have that all done there, we want to go ahead and then build back from this dark oak wood top slab down the center. We're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks back, and then we're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor on the end here. Then we can go ahead and delete these blocks, like so. Then after that, we want to go ahead and then place down or go to our front here, and we're going to go ahead and do another Java feature here. Now we have this lever here coming off this fence post, and you're going to wonder probably how that's done, and that's going to be done using a tool we have on Java. So what we'll do here is I'm going to show you guys how to make it. Now we're going to go and build 2 blocks off this fence post, and then we're going to delete this first block like so. We're going to grab our lever and place it on the side of this block. We then want to go ahead and type in the command /give /app minecraft :debug stick. By pressing enter, you'll get this glowing stick. Now what we can do here is we can left click the lever until we get selected facing, it should say a direction in parentheses. By going ahead and shifting and right clicking, we can actually rotate the lever. And it may vary on how much you need to rotate it depending on what version you're on, just due to basically directions and whatever way you actually face this aircraft. So you may have to mess around with it a little bit, but it should be no more than 4 to rotate to where you need it. But basically you want it coming off this fence post like so. We're going to go then left click the lever again until we get selected power false, and we're going to go ahead and again shift click and right click it, and we get power to true, and it should stick downwards like so. And that's really all you need to do there for the front. Pretty straightforward and simple stuff. Make sure you hold on to this debug stick here, as we will be using it later on in the tutorial for some future little things. But other than that, I don't have a really good alternative for Bedrock or Pocket Edition. You can place down a fence gate maybe that would be coming off that fence post and have it opened up toward it. Unfortunately, there just isn't any good alternatives. You might be able to do something using barrier blocks or structure blocks, I think is what they're called on Bedrock. But yeah, unfortunately, just kind of one of those features that's really going to be only for Java. And with that, let's move on to our next layer, layer number 3. Moving into our next layer here, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a gray shulker box that's going to be kind of coming off the back here of this dark oak wood stair. So you're going to, first off, you're just going to place down a gray shulker box, really is what I should start with, on top of that fence post there. Now this is basically just meant to kind of show a little bit of the instrument panel. You can kind of see through the stained glass there, so that's kind of what I was trying to go for in placing this block here. Coming off it though, toward the front, we're going to place down a dark oak wood stair, and then we want to go and then place down an item frame with a snowball in the item frame like that for the little front light. After that's done, going back from this shulker box here, if you don't want to do an interior for the helicopter, you'll place down a row of 2 black concrete, and that will kind of close off this interior space there from the outside. After that, we're going to go and then place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 green terracotta blocks back down our center. After that's done, going to the sides, we're going to place down a narrow brick corner stair coming off that dark oak wood stair, as well as a black stained glass block, then 2 black concrete blocks, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green terracotta blocks and a mossy cobblestone wall. After that, going back up to the front here, we're going to place down a narrow brick wall coming off the side of this glass block here, and we're going to go and then place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mossy cobblestone walls back, and then 2 green stained glass panes like so. One quick thing I'm going to go ahead and adjust here is up here in the front. I'm actually going to go ahead and replace this narrow brick wall here with a black stained glass pane instead. I think that will actually help with our shaping there a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and make that one quick adjustment, but yeah, that right there is what you want on the front there. Now after we have that all done there, one thing also to keep in mind here is we can put the little symbol on the side, and this is going to be more for if you want to make this the medical version. You can use banners and stuff to make this, however it's not fully accurate, size accurate if you use a banner. Really not that big of a deal, but again, up to you guys. But basically, all we can do here is place down a direct wall on this 5th mossy cobblestone wall from the front, and that can be on both sides there to kind of represent it's a medical helicopter. Again, I'll leave it up to you guys to decide whether or not you want to do that, depending on what role you want this helicopter to be fulfilling. After this, though, we have our main fuselage done here. We're going to go ahead and basically build back from this. We're going to go ahead and count back 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. We're going to go ahead and place down a chain that's going to be facing upwards like so. And then we're going to place down an iron bar right after it, or right next to it, like that. We're going to go back from the iron bar, 1 and 2, more full blocks of space, and then we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence post. We can then delete these blocks as we will no longer need them, and you should have those floating items there, and then the fence post right here going up from the trapdoor at an angle. We then want to go ahead and go off this fence post a total of 2 blocks, so 2 blocks out to the side here. And we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood top slab, and that right there will basically start our vertical stabilizers and everything like that. So that's going to be pretty much it for right there on the back, and that right there will basically conclude everything we have there for layer 3. Again, here's an overview of what it should look like so far. Pretty straightforward stuff, and with that we'll move on to our next layer, which will be layer number 4. So before we go ahead and move on to layer 4, I do want to go ahead and real quickly add one thing also that I kind of forgot to start with layer 2, but we'll just kind of make it its own section because again it's one of those optional kind of add-ons for the helicopter, and this will be the little spotlight here on the side of the build. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and go into this section here, so right above our dark oak wood, polished blackstone slab, we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate, and we're going to open it toward the aircraft. We then want to place down a black shulker box coming off that fence gate with an item frame on the side of it facing forward, and then a snowball like that for that searchlight. On top of it, we're going to place down a lever, and then we're going to go and then place down a wither skeleton skull on top of that fence gate. And that's it. That right there is going to make that little searchlight attachment there to the side. And this is only located on the right side of the helicopter. You could put it on both sides if you really want to, but again, for accuracy purposes, this is only present on the right side. So do with that as you will. But with that, that is going to conclude what we have there for layer number, for this layer, or for that searchlight, I should say. And with that, let's go ahead and move on up to layer 4. Alright guys, moving into our next layer here, we have layer number 4. For layer 4, we're going to go ahead and start off by going ahead and going to the front of the helicopter here. We're going to place down a narrow brick slab on top of that dark oak wood upside down stair. We then want to go ahead and go back from that with a row of 3 of black stained glass full blocks. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 6 here of black concrete. Now the reason I placed down the black concrete is again to close the inside off, as we will have windows visible from the outside. I want to kind of fill this in with black so it just doesn't look like you're seeing into an emptiness into the interior, and it kind of black just kind of helps hide that, I guess. Again, up to you guys if you want to do interior space. There is room for interior, so you can put one if you want to, but again, for the sake of the tutorial, we will be filling this with black concrete. Anyways, though, after that row 6 of black concrete, we're going to go and then place down 1, 2, 3 green terracotta blocks, and then dark oak wood upside down stair. After that stair, we're going to place down a row of 3 of dark oak wood trapdoors, a chain that's going to go on top of this one here, and then an iron bar that's going to go on top of this one. After that iron bar, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood trapdoor, and then a dark oak wood fence post, like so, to go ahead and finish off that center line. Now, once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and start working our way out to the sides. We're going to place down a wither skeleton skull at a slight angle on top of these corner stairs, and it's going to be like that, so just angled like so. We're going to go then place down a row of 1, 2, 3 of black concrete, or sorry, black stained glass, and then again a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of black concrete, and then 1, 2, 3 green terracotta blocks, and then a dark oak wood upside down corner stair, like that, coming off both sides of this one here. Then going out to the sides here again, we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 black stained glass panes along the side. We're going to continue this on with a mossy cobblestone wall, then another black stained glass pane, followed by a mossy cobblestone wall again, a black stained glass pane, a mossy cobblestone wall, and then we're going to place down 1 and 2 green stained glass panes back after that. Once we have that all done there, we're going to go ahead and then go to the tail of the helicopter here. We're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall on top of this dark oak wood slab, and then a dark oak wood upside down stair going forward from that wall. And once we have that all complete there, that is going to basically wrap up everything we have here for this layer, for the main structure. So take a look at it from above. This we should have the top-down view. At this point in time, though, we do have these banners that are going to be on the side of the aircraft. So I am going to go ahead and grab the necessary materials to make these banners, and I'll see you guys here shortly to go over the making of these banners. Alright guys, so when it comes to making these banners here, it's really simple to do. We're just going to need 4 black banners and 8 green dye. We're going to go ahead and go into our loom, and we're going to go ahead and place down our black banners and our green dye. What we want to do here is we're going to split each banner in half with the green on the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and do this for all 4 banners, just like this. So you have 4 banners with the black on top. We're going to go ahead and then place down each banner back in individually, and we're going to go ahead and do something different for each one. This first banner here, we're going to go ahead and do a line, kind of a diagonal line here of green. It's going to go through it like so, and that's going to be your first banner. Your second banner here is going to be the opposite, so the line over here going toward the right corner, and so you have these 2 banners, which are opposite from each other. Then these next set of banners we're going to place down into our loom, and for our first one, we're going to go ahead and do the left vertical line on the side there, and then for our next banner, we're going to go and do the right vertical line. And that's basically it. You have your banners made. Now, for the left side of the helicopter, we're going to start off by going ahead and placing down this banner here with the diagonal going to the right corner. We then want to go ahead and place down the banner here that has the green vertical line to the right side. And then after that, we're going to place down the banner here that has the left vertical line. So it should look like that. On the other side of the helicopter, we're going to go ahead and place down the line that has, or the diagonal here that's going up to the left-hand corner. We're going to go ahead and then place down the left hand side vertical line banner first, and then we're going to place down the right vertical banner right after that. And you'll just do that for both sides there, and you have your banners complete, and that's all you need to do. Pretty straightforward and simple there for the making of those banners. But that right there will conclude what we have there for layer number 4. And with that, let's move on up to layer number 5. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5 to go ahead and get started with, here, we're going to place down an air brick slab on top of this black stained glass block right here. After that, we're going to go ahead and then place down a piston. Again, an alternative to the piston would be a dark oak wood stair instead. We're going to go ahead, and the dark oak wood stair would be facing this direction, like so. After that block there, we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 green terracotta blocks back, and then a mossy cobblestone wall here on the end. After that, going back up to the front here, we're going to place down a daylight detector coming off the side of this nether brick slab, then a nether brick wall, and then we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood slab, dark oak wood stair, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green terracotta blocks, followed by a green shulker box like so. And then 1, 2 mossy cobblestone walls, and then 2 green stained glass panes after those walls. After that, going to the side here again of the fuselage, we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull at a slight angle here, right after that nether brick slab, so like so. And then we're going to then place down 1, 2, and 3 zombie heads back from that. We're going to go ahead and take our green stained glass panes, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 green stained glass panes all on the side here. And then come off the side of the shulker box, we're going to go ahead and grab an item frame. We're going to place down an item frame like so. In that item frame, we want to go ahead and place down a black concrete block. And then again, we'll grab a dark oak wood sign for us Java players, and we'll place a dark oak wood sign on the side there to help hide the item frame a little bit better. So it will look like that on the side. With that all complete, we're going to go ahead and then grab a dark oak wood slab. We're going to place down a row of 1 and 2 of slabs coming off this green terracotta block here. We're going to go then place down a green terracotta block on top of the stair, and then a green stained glass pane on both sides of that block like so. After we have that all done there, we can also go ahead and grab some polished blackstone buttons, and we can run it along the side here of the tail here to basically represent where they would have a U.S. Army written on the side of the helicopter, something along the sort, U.S. Army National Guard or whatever, but it would be written along the side here of this boom going back to your vertical stabilizers. So that basically is it for that, and that right there is kind of the overview for the structure of the aircraft. I do want to go ahead and point your attention to one other optional feature, which would be the winch that's going to come off the side of here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the materials. I'm going to show you guys how to make that winch. Alright guys, so when it comes to building the winch here on the helicopter, it's again kind of an optional thing you can do depending on what kind of loadout you're trying to go for, what kind of role you're going for this helicopter. But basically it's going to be on the right side only again, and we're going to go ahead and go to this last zombie head. We're going to delete that zombie head, and instead we're going to place down a dark oak fence gate and open it toward that green terracotta block. We're going to place down an end rod coming off that fence gate, followed by a black shulker box, and then we're going to drop down from the shulker box with a chain like so, and that right there will basically make the winch there to the side, and that's really all you need to do. Pretty simple, and again that'll be on the right side and right side only. You can flip it to the left side, but it seems like they mostly have this on the right side, like with most American military helicopters. Anyways, though, that is going to conclude everything there is there for layer number 5, and with that we'll be moving on to layer number 6. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 6. For layer 6 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a dark oak fence post that's going to go on top of this narrow brick slab here, and we want to go and then place down a lever on top of this piston. That'll be facing toward it. Again, a alternative to this could be a fence gate that you can have open up toward the fence post instead. Kind of again up to you guys, but for Java players we'll place down a lever and we'll fix this up a little bit later. After that though, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak slab on top of that second green terracotta block, then a green terracotta block, a polished blackstone wall, a green terracotta block. We're going to go ahead and then place down a piston. Again, instead of the piston here you can place down a dark oak stair instead, then a dark oak slab, mossy cobblestone wall, and a dark oak trap door. After that's all done, we want to go ahead and then skip 1, 2, 3 spaces back. In our 4th space, we're going to place down a iron bar. We're going to go ahead and then go back to the tail here on top of the mossy cobblestone wall. We're going to place down a green terracotta block and then a dark oak stair like so on the center block, or on that last green terracotta block there in the rear. We're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak stair on top of this green terracotta block here, as well as a green terracotta block right behind that stair like so. With that done, going back up to the front here, we're going to build out to the sides. We're going to place down a polished blackstone wall coming off this green terracotta block, followed by a green terracotta block back from that, a mossy cobblestone wall, and if you are on Java, we're going to place down a piston. If you're not on Java, you can place down a stair right here, which should turn into a corner stair, so it should look something like this there. It's a good alternative, but again, for Java players here, we'll place down our pistons across. We're going to go then place down a row of dark oak slabs across, and then a daylight detector to both sides of that mossy cobblestone wall. With that all complete there, the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to take our dark oak trapdoors. We're going to go ahead and go to the side of the this polished blackstone wall and this green terracotta block, and we're just going to place down our trapdoors to both sides, like so. Now, once we have that all done, we'll go ahead and grab our debug stick here again for us Java players. And we're going to go ahead and start off by going ahead and going up to this piston here. And we're going to go and basically left click it until we get selected extended false. By right clicking it, we can actually get rid of that wood portion, and you get that design that looks like that there at the front. We can also do the same thing for the pistons on the bottom here. So we can go ahead and right click all 3 of these pistons as well to get rid of that wood portion, and it just kind of helps with the front sloping there of the aircraft. Anyways though, that right there is pretty much it. We're not going to touch these pistons just yet, because if you do update the block space around a piston, it will revert back. So we're going to leave that alone for right now, because we do have the rotors, which come into play in the next layer, so I don't want to mess with that too much. But with that, let's go ahead and move on to our next layer, which will be layer number 7. So moving into our final layers here, we're actually just going to go ahead and knock out the rest of our layers, and that's going to be layers 7 and 8. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go ahead and go to the top of that polished blackstone wall here, and we're going to place down another wall kind of up from it. We're going to go and then place down a birchwood fence gate going forward, and then an end rod, and then come off that end rod, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 polished blackstone top slabs forward to go ahead and create our rotor. We're going to go and do the same thing going to the back. So birchwood fence gate, end rod, and then 9 polished blackstone slabs back. And then we're going to go ahead and go out to the sides, doing again the same thing. We have the wall right there, the fence gate there, followed by the end rod, and then we have our 9 slabs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. After that, on top of this wall here, we just want to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor. We're also going to place down a green carpet on top of these polished black stone walls here for those intakes there for the engine. After that, we can then go to these pistons here for debug stick for Java players, and we can just right click them to get rid of that wood portion, and again with that sloping there. And then to the back of the aircraft, we're going to go ahead and place down a polished, or rather first a dark oak wood stair on top of this green terracotta block back here, and then a green stained glass pane on the back of the stair. Coming off the stair here to the left side, and the left side only, we're going to place down a polished black stone top slab, a item frame, a black concrete block in the item frame, and then a dark oak wood sign if you are on Java. We're going to go ahead and drop down forward from the slab with a polished andesite slab and then a top slab like so. And then going up from this, we're going to place down a polished andesite slab and a polished andesite top slab like so going up to go ahead and make our tail rotor. With that all complete, the last thing we're going to go ahead and do here is go to our vertical stabilizers here to the side. We're going to place down a dark oak wood stair there and then a green stainless pane right behind that stair like so. And once we have that all done right there, that is going to basically complete the build. You're going to take what we did on the right side, copy it over to the left side, and you'll pretty much be good to go. So with that out of the way, that right there is going to complete my tutorial here for the UH-72 Lakota. Hope you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. If you do end up using this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This being from a side of the build, link to my channel or this video if this does appear in social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for it, you're free to use it for whatever projects you guys are working on. Again, a big special thanks to Patreon supporter Quake for making this tutorial possible, and as always, feel free to check my Patreon page, link is always in my video descriptions. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.